Hi. So I wanted to talk about my first experience with Jamberry and kind of why I love them so much, how they really help me have some mommy time. I do have three little ones. I actually became a consultant before we found out that he was on the way. So I've been a consultant for about, I think, 14 or 15 months now. Not terribly long, but over a year. But the first time I bought jams was actually for Mother's Day of last year. And I really didn't think that they were going to work very well for me, but we had 4 weddings that summer, and I'm a really big gardener, so, like even if you wash your hands, the dirt tends to kind of hang out under the nails, and I thought it would be fun to do my nails before the weddings. Whoa, dive bomb. Um, and I also thought it would be fun to do mommy and me nails for Mother's Day with my little girl. So I bought jams a couple weeks before Mother's Day so that she and I could do our nails for church. The first set I did wrong. I didn't read the instructions carefully. I was rushing, so I was touching the adhesive, and they did fall right off. But the girl who's actually now my sponsor checked in on me and was like, give them another try because they really do work great. And she had young kids. So I kind of believed her, I was like, well, if they work for her, they'll probably work for me. So I tried them again, and within, I think, 8 hours of putting them on was when the first kid ran a temp. It was the worst bug I think the kids have ever had. Both of them came down with this 48-hour flu that was going around at the time, and it was so awful. I mean, it was just the worst. It was coming out both ends. It was just, it was horrible. Like, we had to drive him to the doctor's office, so somebody got sick in the car. So the whole, it was like the day that wouldn't end, where I think I gave him 4 baths in a day at one point because every time I'd get him clean and dried off, somebody would get sick again, but not like into a bowl, like all over themselves. So then I just throw them right back in the bath and clean up the mess and try to clean up them. I had to take apart the car seats. I had to, wash the fabric part and then scrub down the plastic part. I had to clean out my car and, scrubbing that, and just, so I was not only doing a ton of cleaning, but I was using the cleaning supplies. So bleach was all over my nails and all over my hands. And then giving the baths, 4 different baths. So I'm like in the water all day. And we didn't have a dishwasher at the time because it was at our old place. So I was doing a lot of washing of dishes and a lot of laundry. And like I said, with the scrubbing. Then my husband got home from work. And after just, it was like a long night and then a long day, I told him I just want to go out and pull some weeds, okay? Because it was like my way of taking out some aggression. You take it out on the weeds. And I was just stressed. So I just went out in the garden and I just attacked. I just was pulling weeds and yanking them and digging in the dirt because it just really made me feel a little bit better. And after I got done with that, it was a hot, hot day. I was all sweaty. I had other people's poo on me, other people's puke. I was gross. I felt like just gross. As gross as a human being could feel. I felt so nasty. And then I noticed my hands. And not only had the nails held up to everything, which was pretty amazing, but they still looked pretty. My hands were dirty, but my nails still looked pretty. And I could just kind of wipe the dust off, and then they were back to being pretty. And it was just like such a mood booster. That one thing after a day of feeling like I have the grossest job on the planet, then I can still have pretty nails. And it just so encouraged me to keep going. I'm sorry, I'm making grilled cheese. But it was that one thing that made me feel like I'm still a woman. I can still do pretty things and delicate feminine things, and my whole life I'm not going to be covered in pee and poop. And so it was really, really nice and totally brightened my day. But it was also, like I said, amazing because I had just put my hands through the worst stuff I could throw at them all at once, as fast as I could. Just horribleness. And then the wraps lasted even after that. So for the next, week and a half, anytime I'd look at my hands, I'd be like, can you believe that they're still on? Look at this, And Oh yeah, and that was when my in-laws, they have a wedding venue. They needed to make, I think it was 500 chair covers. It was like a decoration that with burlap. And so like we were cutting out all this fabric. We had to cut out fabric and we had to hot glue it. And it was like this big emergency where my mother-in-law called me and was like, this bride, she really needs this. She thought that we had it. I don't know why she thought that. You know, so like I had to go over an emergency helper with cutting out and hot gluing and doing all this stuff, even though like we really didn't have enough time. So my hands were cramping up by the end of doing this huge big project. And I got hot glue on one of the wraps, and then I was able to just peel it right off. So it was so amazing to me how much they lasted. And because I kept raving about them is why my husband finally was just like, you know what, just sign up. You should be able to get that discount and do something fun that you like. And so that is why I started Jams. And then, of course, they've completely changed our lives because I earn as much as my husband now from home. We are not living high off the hog right now. You would think that with dual incomes we'd be able to do that. But we just bought our first home. And that was a dream for years that we did not think we were going to be able to achieve. Grilled cheese is getting a little too hot because we do have a whole bunch of young children, and we also had some emergency medical bills this year. This little guy was a massive medical emergency that we had where we found out I have a weird health condition. Didn't find out until baby number 3 that I have this rare condition, but we needed to have an emergency surgery. And typically emergency, I will get it for you, sweetie. I will get it for you in a second, okay? Emergencies like that will wipe out your account. We already, like a year ago, we wouldn't have been able to afford what we went through this March. But because of Jamberry, we were not only able to get through all the medical bills of my emergency surgery and then him needing to be in the NICU for 2 weeks. And he was actually readmitted later on with an infection, and so was I. Both of us, we were in and out of the hospital for months there. And not only were we able to pay off all those bills, we were still able to buy our first home. And just a month ago, we were able to make 5 extra mortgage payments. So even with all of this stuff that's been going on, we have really good odds of paying off our home really early, like maybe in the next 2-3 years. All from home. It's pretty awesome. I will pick you up in a second, okay? I'm sorry. I better cut this off because people are going insane. But I just wanted to let you know, wraps can hold up to anything that you have in your life. And if you are looking at adding any kind of income to your home, if you're looking at a direct sales business, talk to me about Jamberry because it is such an easy business to run from home because we do have the little flat samples that we can just send in the mail. So I don't do a lot of live parties, but I've been able to really be successful, and it's changed our financial future. So that is my video, and I think you can hear the insane toddler happening here. So I'm going to turn this off. Bye.